We start this week's episode of Better Call Saul with a glimpse into Jimmy's younger days as he watches his father get conned out of $10. After the con man tells Jimmy that he needs to decide whether he's going to be a wolf or a sheep in this world, Jimmy quietly sneaks money out of the cash register and into his pocket. At present, Jimmy, Bob Odenkirk, represents Mike, Jonathan Banks, as he heads to the district attorney's office to amend his statement to the police regarding Tuco's gun. On the way out, Jimmy attempts to level with Mike and explain that he's also made deals with the Salamancas, but Mike cuts him off and tells him to bill him and leave it at that. Jimmy calls Kim, Rhea Seahorn, to ask her if she's told Howard about her new job yet, but she tells him she won't say anything until she has the offer in hand. Later, at Davis and Maine, Jimmy dictates a resignation letter to his assistant Omar, but once he learns he cannot keep his bonus if he quits prior to having been with the firm a year, he has a change of heart. While on a drive, Jimmy passes an ostentatiously dressed waving inflatable tube man and suddenly has a spark of inspiration. The colorful suits we come to know as Saul's wardrobe are now donned in the halls of Davis and Maine, much to the chagrin of Jimmy's colleagues. He begins to do everything he can to get fired, depicted by a quick, ridiculously fun montage, making smoothies in the kitchen and ensuring that he spills on multiple people, becoming the culprit of a serial non-flushing situation in the men's bathroom, and playing a bagpipe very, very poorly in his office. Eventually, Cliff loses it, calls Jimmy into his office, and fires him. He's known exactly what Jimmy was doing all along, and questions why he even took the job to begin with. Jimmy tells Cliff that for what it's worth, he thinks he's a good guy, to which Cliff responds that he thinks Jimmy is an asshole. On Jimmy's way out, he snatches a soda can from Erin's hand and throws it into the regular garbage can to upset her, and heads to H&M to see Kim. Jimmy asks Kim to leave H&M, reject the offer from S&C, and start their own firm, Wexler/McGill. Jimmy tells her he was fired but emphasizes how wonderful it would be to be their own bosses, and Kim asks what kind of lawyer he's going to be. He admits he'll be colorful, because he can't keep trying to be what everyone else wants him to be. He has to be himself. She rejects the law partner idea and goes back to work. Mike tours a new house with Stacy, who excitedly tells him about how nice the neighborhood is and thanks him for helping get her and Kaylee into a better situation. Later, Mike drives back and watches the Salamanca's restaurant from a distance. Jimmy, now back in his yellow car, drives to the salon and enlists Omar's help once again to move the Cocobolo desk into his tiny office. Jimmy tries to pay Omar, but he rejects it and wishes Jimmy the best as he heads home to his kids. Back in his cozy salon office, Jimmy tries to record a voicemail greeting in the same cheesy British accent as before, but thinks better of it and records it as himself. At Schweikert and Coakley, Kim interviews gracefully with Rick Schweikert and the other partners, and smokes a cigarette on the roof afterwards. She tears the Wexler/McGill business card in half and heads to the nail salon to see Jimmy. At the salon, Kim proposes that she reject the job at S&C, and that her and Jimmy do go into business together, but as solo practitioners with separate firms under the same roof. Jimmy tells her he doesn't know what to say. Kim asks him to say yes. This realtor is Stephanie Doswell, the woman who catches Marie stealing spoons in Breaking Bad Season 4, Episode 3, Open House. This house sticks as proven when Mike drops Kaylee off in Breaking Bad Season 3, Episode 13, Full Measure. Also in both Open House and Full Measure, Stephanie still works for the same company, Venture Realty Group. It seems like Mike may be on his way to diving in deeper with the cartel, and who knows where Jimmy's latest business endeavor will go, but at least we know he holds onto those colorful suits.